Alright, it is FrOzenSwipe here, and I got a game of domination on Hanoi for you guys. And I really did try to bring you this game earlier. I was trying to commentate this on Sunday. Well, I meant to do it on Saturday, but I was really busy. And the one time that I had available to do it on Sunday, I don't know what it was. I guess I was just tired or something. I just kept fucking up the commentary. It took me like 3-4 times. Each time I screwed it up. And I screwed it up in some way, shape, or form. I just wasn't happy with it. And I don't really want to bring you like a real phoned-in commentary, and yeah, it got to the stage where it got kind of late, and I just decided, I'll leave it till tomorrow because I'm just not in the right headspace for it, if you know what I mean. But Monday, my dad pretty much hogged the computer all day, and then I had football training, and I was knackered from that. So this is literally the soonest I could do it, and I'm really sorry, but I will try and upload again this weekend, although I can't make any promises about that. But anyway, this is a game of domination on Hanoi, as I said, and I'm trying to use out the last of my gameplays that I have recorded in standard aspect ratio, which would be 4:3 aspect ratio, because now I'm going to be getting Sony Vegas, obviously, for my laptop, and I'll be able to kind of stretch out the videos to fill up the entire screen. I'll be able to stretch them out into widescreen or 16:9 aspect ratio, and hopefully get rid of those two little black bars that you see on the side of my videos, which are kind of annoying in my opinion. And yeah, hopefully make the vids a lot better and just a bit easier to kind of view, if you know what I mean. But anyway, this is going to be another rant vid, seeing as you kind of like the last one. And first topic that I'm going to get into is, of course, the way people say on YouTube, online, pretty much anywhere on online. It could be Facebook, could be any YouTube, Twitter, any of these places. We always see like so at least one guy going, "I love you, man, no homo." And that's kind of what I want to get into. I mean, I get that you don't want to seem gay, because we're still in a very homophobic society. I mean, it is still seen as a negative thing to be gay, and I'm not saying that it is a negative thing to be gay. I think quite the opposite. I mean, you are what you are. Whether you be gay, straight, or somewhere in between is, it's none of my business. You're not harming me, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's the way I see it, but, I know some people aren't like that. I know some people find that, they really just can't comprehend that people aren't like that, someone could be so different. And I think that's the thing. It doesn't matter what kind of society you live in. For a society to be successful, it has to exclude someone else. And I don't know, that in this society, homosexuals just seem to be one of those people that unfortunately fall into that category of people who tend to be excluded. But anyway, and I can understand why you don't want to seem like you fall into this category. Nobody wants to be the outsider, if you know what I mean. But I mean, is it really that necessary to say no homo after you say I love you? I mean, people know what you mean. You wouldn't go to your sister and say I love you, no incest. You wouldn't go to your dog and say I love you, no bestiality. You wouldn't go to your grandparents, I love you, no necrophilia. People know what you mean by it. You don't have to explain yourself. So, I mean, why should you say it for, I love you, man, no homo? It's just unnecessary, in my opinion. And, now, the next topic that I'm going to kind of rant on about. I know you call them parking lots over in the States, but here they're called car parks. And, you'll often see these in private car parks or multi-story or underground car parks. You'll sometimes see a sign saying "Car thieves operate in this area," or at least something to that extent. Some words that have the same meaning anyway. And there are just so many problems with that. First of all, if car thieves are operating in your car park, don't you think you should do something about it? Or is this some sort of weird car thief preserve, or car thieves becoming an endangered species with the advent of the car alarm or something? Why don't you actually go ahead and do something about the car thieves that are plaguing your car park? And or the other thing is, no shit, car thieves are gonna operate in a car park. Where else would they go? You wouldn't see two car thieves just wandering around in the middle of a normal park going, "You said they'd be cars, eh?" Where else are they gonna go? And lastly, that's not really something you want to kind of put out there. It's not something you want to advertise to the general public. I mean, let's face it, if I pay, what would be the going rate for a private car park? €2 an hour, say. If I pay €2 an hour, to leave my car somewhere, the bare minimum that I expect is for my car to be there when I get back. Right? I mean, and if there are car thieves operating in that area, there is a very high chance that it won't be. So, I mean, that's something that I think is kind of ridiculous. I mean, why would you put it out there? But, it's just one of those weird things that you kind of see. The other thing is, like, Twilight. Alright, I know these topics are very related, but, it really is just a load of bollocks, to be honest. I mean, okay, I've seen the first one. I'm gonna be honest. Against my will, in fairness, but I still saw it. And I'll explain myself. Pretty much, I remember we did this charity thing in our school, and we raised the most money as a class. So our reward for raising money was to go to the cinema. Now, I think we were in first year when this happened, so we would have only been like 12 or 13. So the school could only bring us to 12 or 13 movies, and they could only do it during school hours for, I don't know, legal reasons or whatever. But the only movie that was on during school hours, that was only a 12's over 12's rating, sorry, was Twilight, like the first Twilight, and it was the biggest load of bollocks I've ever seen. And I mean, it really, I can understand why it's so popular amongst teenage girls. I mean, it completely plays off the emotional insecurities that teenage girls have. Because, I mean, the main character, your one, Bella, I think her name is, she is designed, she's been perfectly casted to be the most plain girl ever. So that pretty much any girl can kind of relate to her, that can kind of put themselves in the role of Bella. Because, I mean, I really don't see why your man Edward would even bother. I mean, she's not even that fit. Don't get me wrong, she's one of those girls where, like, if she kind of approached you, you'd go along with it, but you wouldn't actually make the initial effort to kind of chat her up, if you know what I mean. Like, she's not that nice, but I mean, the thing is, it's also ruining the reputation of vampires, which is something that I take very seriously. So much for movies like Blade or Underworld, or even Dracula, the original Dracula movies, if you want to go that far back. But I mean, vampires are just kind of seen as like completely gay at this stage, purely because of Twilight, and I wouldn't even mind. Edward is not a good representation of what a vampire is. I mean, first of all, he doesn't kill anyone. He lives in the forest, and he sparkles. That makes him a fucking fairy, right? Not a vampire. And trust me, I'm from Ireland. We were afraid to go near ancient settlements because we believed fairies lived in there. So we know all about fairies. You can take my word for it. But one last thing. Whenever you see the sign, no dogs except for guide dogs, who's meant to read that sign? The blind guy or the guide dog? Just something to think about. So if you have any strong opinions on any of the random completely unrelated issues that I've brought up in this video, be sure to leave them in the comments. I want to see what other people think. And as always, if you have, if you're still here through all my ranting, thanks for watching.